testimony that one large Rav was asked and he said, yeah, no, you can't wash from a sink without a cup. What should I tell you? No, you just can't. But you can't. So did anyone hear otherwise? No? Anyone? No one discussed it? Anyone thought about it? Okay. It'll be continuous homework if someone could find. But as it stands, the answer is it's shver, and one should not. And I want to point out the math I just did a moment ago. It's halachic math that we in the beginning spoke about when are you allowed to eat without washing your hands. You know, the whole putting on gloves and whatnot. And we said it's a pretty misused and abused heter, because we said you have to have a lack of water for 72 minutes. So last week we mentioned that the Tzitz Eliezer says not having a cup is the same thing as not having water. So if you think about it, this actually could happen. Why? There always are rest stops. There always are bathrooms. There's always water. But if there are always cups, often not. What's the proof often not? Everyone has spent their life doing the faucet shtickle. So obviously there wasn't a cup. If there was a cup.
Not to have a cup in 18 minutes also then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're saying you could. No. Only rest stops with food. There's two types of rest stops. Oh, good. Very good. So that's really the segue perfectly into what we're talking about today. Last week we spoke about what are the halachas of the cup. We mentioned paper, plastic, and whatnot. And the question is, you're right, a water bottle. We're going to talk about this in one moment, and we're going to talk about pitchers. But the pashtus is a water bottle would be fine. So you want to drink the water? Okay, I feel bad for you. So choose your poison. It's either a bottle of water or it's bread.
Why? There's no such thing as that's not called having water.
Yeah, that would be. Oh, so what else? Good. We have to get to what else. What else? Can I use seltzer? Can I use Sprite?
Also, can we get the cups that you use to drink already? Like
Yeah. That's right now. Very good. So let's go in. Let's dive in. Just because it's become a little bit funner when we hear all the wonderful conceptions, preconceptions, misconceptions. So Lamaisa, are you allowed to wash with a plastic water bottle? Yes. Unanimous?
Depends if you drink from it already.
Depends if you drink from it.
Machmirim say no.
Machmirim say no. What does that mean? It means you've gotten yelled at once in your life too many. Maybe. Okay.
And then I call you when I get
the deep-rooted issues are coming out.
My wife.
So now you said something that if you drink from the bottle, then no. Right? That's what was mentioned. That's what you heard.
He meant that it's meals.
That's what you heard. Okay. Good. What about a pitcher? You got to wash with a pitcher.
Yes.
Yes.
It's better than a cup.
Lechatchila. No issues.
Yeah.
The best.
The front goes down a little bit.
Oh, the front goes down a little bit.
What do you mean, like a spout thing?
Spout guy. We're going to get into the spout guy in a moment. Very good.
So what? That makes it worse?
I think the water has to pour out from the...
Very good. Okay, we're going to get there in a minute. Beautiful. Next, what happens if you open up the tap in the morning? I don't know if this happens everywhere, maybe in just certain parts of the world, and the water is not clear. Either the water is cloudy or the water is rusty. Are you allowed to wash that water? No? Yes? No? Maybe so? Shasat Chag. What's the Shasat Chag? You're too lazy to... Okay.
Is that what we're talking about? Like, pour it out and take new, just what? Do I have to?
I want to know, can you wash with that water, or do you have to wait, let it run? The water, we all know the water runs for a few minutes.
Do you not want it on your hands?
What?
Do you care? Like,
You can't ask me the questions, I ask you the questions. Are you allowed to wash with it? You came to the sink, it never happened to you in your life?
Yeah, you can wash it.
I mean,
You can wash with
if it's dirty and you don't want it on your hands, you're not going to want to wash with it. So you're saying someone doesn't care.
I'm saying you went to the sink, you opened the faucet, and it came out cloudy. Can you wash with it? So Nachal Dov says yes, or Zellinger says only b'shasat chak. Okay. What about, let's continue more cases. Stack is a lot of fun. What about if your washing cup had some soap in it? Because it had soap in it. So you're filling up your washing cup and you're like, hey, it's a little bit foamy. Can you wash with it?
That's the best.
So before you answer, what does everyone do? It's the best. It's cleaning my hands. Cleaning my hands.
You keep the water running until the soap washes.
That's what you do? That's what you do? Yeah, what does everyone else do? You wash with soapy water or no? I think everyone else says what you just said. Like, I'm washing my hands. It gets my hands clean. Now there's soap. The best thing in the world.
But the soap would be like a.
I didn't ask the lumdus. I asked tachlis what you do.
I would take out the soap.
Take out the soap. Okay.
Why would anything then?
Take out the soap. Take out the soap. What about, can you wash with someone else's water?
Like leftover water?
Leftovers. You know, you went into the washing station and, you know, the old school with the bowl of water and it runs out. You're like, it's not cool. So the waiter says, yeah, I'm bringing you, Shkach.
Oh, the ready used water?
The ready used water. In the bowl, you know who's looking. You know, you look right, you look left.
That's
We all know that this happens all the time. You do a quick right or left, you scoop it out, and you pretend no one's looking. No one? Anyone? No one? No one? Okay.
It's rough run, no way.
No way. No way, Jose.
Add more water.
Add some more water into it.
And how about the water left over in the cup is pushing you could use? That's not even a shayla.
What do you mean left over in the cup?
Like the guy washed his
Oh,
hands and
what
he
the-
wasn't yaitse.
Nothing's
And he has
pushing.
half of it left.
Oh,
So
mhm.
Well, that's for sure better.
Right.
Okay, fine. This is a great case. Only in Eretz Yisrael. I'm sorry, Rabbi Goldberg, but this is fascinating. The plumbing system. Someone turned off the water in your house. Okay, it happens, right? Happens to be in Yerushalayim. It happens all the time. Like Tuesday, no water for the day. Like, I understand we need all the luxury apartments for people to buy and not live there, but why can't I have water? Like, I don't know. It's a little bit. I don't know why in America this doesn't happen. It does. Saying it happens.
No.
Saying it has the power.
It's not so power outage. So you want to go? This is gavaldik. Can you go to the vase and wash? This is great, no? Can you wash with the water from the vase? It's gavaldik, no? This is right after you finish stirring your coffee with your glasses, and you know. Can you wash with the water in the vase? Fascinating, no? Fine. And the last shayla is, it's summer season, so it's ocean and pool season. So you're rafting. You're rafting. How do you wash your hands for the soggy bread? No, it's not soggy. It's not right. It's in the fancy thing. Yeah, it's soggy.
Double wrapped?
Double wrapped in the fancy cooler. Yeah.
No.
Dunk your hand.
Each wave.
No, so what do you do? Table your hands. Table your hands. Table your hands. Unanimous? You can table your hands? Al tfilas yadayim.
The Shmur says make a regular bracha anyway.
Bruce says make the regular bracha anyways. What about a swimming pool? Which one?
Make the bracha tvila? It's not a mikvah.
It's not a mikvah. Scoop the water out in the swimming pool. And wash it. And wash with the cup. And wash with the cup. Okay. So let's. Yeah. What else?
It's a little interesting.
Yeah.
Let's say a person
He prefaces.
who's already has tar hands, and you see how to make a cup out of his hands, and then wash your hands with
Wash someone else's hands?
wash someone else's hands.
Oh, so let me ask you better. So it's funny. I guess someone else
Go
will
like
do this
this,
also.
and you like fill up water and pour it on your hands.
Oh, use your hands
Someone
as a
else
kli.
fills up.
No, your hands are not a kli. Your hands are not a kli. Although I'll mention something fascinating. Your hands are not a kli, but in Hilchos Boyer and Shabbos, your hands are a kli. Because in the din, it could be even called a kli miyuchad. It's very interesting.
So why does
Very
it work
interesting. Because it's not a kli in Hilchos Tuesday. Okay. Why is it not a kli?
then? You decided.
Of course, it's not a kli. So let's
That makes sense. You have to wipe it out. You wipe it out.
No, Avada, the answer is because in the world of Bayer, the Vardin Kli Miyuchad has nothing to do with the Shechachas Kli. It's a utensil that's made to aid in the separation process. So if your hand is aiding, if I'm taking my hand over the mouth of the soup pot and I'm using it to siphon out the liquid and hold the vegetables back when no one's looking, obviously, and then just putting the vegetables in and serving the next guy, then that's called a Kli Bayer. But that doesn't make my hand into a Kli. Maybe.
Tickle your hands.
Yeah, very good. I was about to say, you have to tighten your hands. Okay, very good. Now, so let's begin. Let's begin. We have a lot of fun to talk about. So let's begin with Lemaisa Shulchan Aruch Paskins. Shulchan Aruch Paskins, which was mentioned that Hitvil Yadav B'mei Mayan. You're allowed to be toivel your hands in a spring. Afilu ein boy arba'im sa. Even if it doesn't have 40 sa. Still also like tefillah. Kol shemiskasin yadav and basachas. Ve'em hetfilah b'mei mikvah. Some say it's like a mayan. Some say it needs 40 sa. And we are mikvah. Ramasi zeishahach melachatchila. So it gets a little complicated, but when all the dust settles, is lemaisa in a mayan, which is a fresh spring, or in a mikvah, you're allowed to toivel your hands. Now, there's a problem over here which isn't brought down here on the page so much. I try to do research. This is the next question you could ask the big beard that you meet. A lot of our rivers have man-made components in them. It's called a dam, that they open and close the dam. Does the opening and closing of the dam make the river into a not kosher mikvah? Even if it would make it into a not kosher mikvah, which maybe it does, would that invalidate it for tvila, for netila, for netila? So this is a confusing point. It would seem, again, I don't, I'm just like, this is like a little bit of a disclaimer, because everyone says if you got a river, you stick your hands in and you're good to go. You don't need to have a cup. And what bracha do you make? We'll talk about it in a moment. Whether you make al Netilas Yadaim, whether you make al Tfilas Yadaim. We'll talk about that in one second. We'll read your Mishnah Berurah Simchat and Sadi Zayin. But I'm just pointing out is that if it's not a mayan and it has man-made components, a lot of rivers have pipes that run through them and water is transported. It's not, I don't know, not everything that looks like, oh, it's a nice, God-made river.
In a perfect world, the river's a mayan?
No, a river's a nahar, and a mayan is a fresh spring. A fresh spring is even better. You don't even need memsa. A fresh spring. What is a fresh spring?
The river.
That's a good question. It's like a natural spring. Yeah.
A river has 40 saw.
A river has 40 saw. A river has 40 saw. And if it didn't have 40, the question is, did it have a din of a river? Could be once there are man-made pipes. You can't have a man-made river. That's called a swimming pool. Swimming pool unanimously is not called a river, and you cannot toivel your hands in your swimming pool. Now, interestingly enough, again, this is not something he really talks about over here. I think we've all heard that for a man to go to the mikvah, shasat chak, you don't have a mikvah, turn off the filter and go into your swimming pool. Right. Question is what exactly does that do? No one really knows, but it's one of those things. Yeah, in the winter it's freezing, in the summer it's whatever. But maybe it should be the same shmooze, maybe. But we'll leave it at that. I just wanted to point it out. Everyone could on their own think about it. The Mishnah Berurah here says, which was mentioned, that you don't make al Tfilas Yadaim, you make al Netilas Yadaim, but it's not 100% accurate. Yeah, you can't be right. Levarich al Netilas Yadaim. Al Netilas Yadaim. So first of all, the Graz Shulchan Aruch Rav argues. So we could ask our local Chabad chassid what he does by mincha time, if this has ever happened. He actually says that you could potentially make a different bracha. But the Mishnah Berurah says you make al Netilas Yadaim. But if the water is pasul linetila, and you're only allowed to be toiveled in it, then you're going to make al Tfilas Yadaim. Now, what would such a case be? Such a case would be dirty mikvah water. Dirty mikvah water, you're not allowed to take a cup out and pour it over your hands. Why? Because it's dirty. And we're about to see one of the conditions in Netilas Yadayim is that the water can't be filthy. But yet, it's still a kosher mikvah, and you'll be able to be toivel your hands in it. That's the one case that the bracha will change, but it is true. In the more classical cases, let's say in the river, if you're sticking your hands in, you make the bracha. But now, it's always better, not really, but if you have a cup, just use a cup. Or you have a water bottle like we spoke about, put the water bottle in, take out some water from the river, and wash your hands with it.
Or just to give them the subject bracha.
Just because, well, it's not really, it won't be a subject bracha in that case, because that case, that's interesting cheshbon, maybe. So I wasn't thinking that, but that is an interesting cheshbon. So machlekes ha'pais what bracha to make, maybe it would be better to use a cup. That is interesting. Okay, so what's the story of the pitcher? So our resident smichas chaver, smicha. They'll just found out that they're not getting it. It's okay. And they think I'm joking. But either way, David's getting very violent. You're saying he signed it. You're saying if they had him Pashat sign it, it's only right. It's only right. Oh yeah, that's a good point. So Mishnah Berurah says, what if you have a pitcher? Now, there's different types of pitchers, but the question is, you have a pitcher with a large mouth, a spout in English, that goes above. So now there's a shayla in the paiskim. If you're allowed to pour through that spout, what's the shayla? The shayla is the kli is the part that holds the water. That wasn't a chiddush. That was the definition of the word kli. But now the spout that sticks over the top does not hold water there. So that part of it might not be called a kli. and therefore you should not wash out of that area lechatchila. But the Evan Mishmur is Mekel, there's an Achar Shulchan, etc. But lechatchila not. But now, 1 second, if the spout has a cover on it, which sometimes it does, like that cover that gets the ice. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If it has a cover on it, then it might get a shame kli, and then you can wash through it. So it's a little bit nitty gritty, but it is interesting that you should just realize if you ever wash with one of these big pitchers, it's better not to wash through the top. You wash through the side. Number one. Number two is what age? I didn't ask this before. What is the youngest age of a person that could do the Netilas Yadaim for you? Let's say that in English. Let's say Leila Seder. So you're the Tati, the Zaidi, whatever you are, and the kids come to bring you the Netilas Yadaim, and they don't want to just bring you to, they want to mamish wash your hands. Can the 5-year-old pick up the cup and wash your hands? What does everyone say?
Yes.
Yes. Unanimously.
Why not?
Do you have a reason why you're saying yes?
Do you have a reason why not?
There's a reason why not. That's a good reason.
Because it's not his mitzvah. It's not his doing mitzvah. No. It's
Hands have to
still
be
taking a
washed.
mitzvah for the guy that's getting his hands washed.
So let's say you have Fido the dog that is trained. Can he pick up the cup and pour it on your hands? Yeah?
Your hands have to be washed.
Hands? Well, no, you can't say that.
From a cleat.
There's din of a kli
Hands washed.
So the feet of the dog is using a cleat.
if he's using a kli.
Yeah.
So says the Shulchan Aruch. Hakol kesherin litin mayim liyadayim afilu. Who's afilu? Chayre shaita v'katan oivid galilim v'nida. Says the Ramah, the Ikamanda Amar, the katan pachos mi ben shisha dinoi ke koiv. Has the din of a monkey. Says the Mishnah Berurah. Hamavur lekamei. Di yesh paislin boy. V'hu mishom the katan kazeh ein boy das klal. And you need to have das in order to wash your hands. Mishnah Berurah continues. It says the goyim is mashma not to be machmir, and it's not like a koif. Delav adamu deleskan koich. Delav adamu veleskan koich gavro. Everyone understand what just happened? Fido the dog cannot pour the water in your hands. Why not? There's no koich gavro. It's because there's a kli. But who's pouring it? You need a gavra to pour it. So now what is a gavra? Says the Mechaber, anyone, any Chayer Sheit of Katan, he's a person, he's a Gavra. Says the Ramah, some are Machmir if you're under 6. The Goyin says we are not Makbid. Why? Only by a monkey with no Kayach Gavra. Masha'inkin Bazev, after Ein Boy Das, Lugar Mishaita, and therefore it will work. So what comes out of here is 2 startling halachas. Number 1 is you cannot feed the dog, wash your hands. I hope that wasn't going to happen anyways. I mean, it would be pretty cool, but that cannot happen. Number 2 is the Ramah holds a 5-year-old cannot wash your hands. 5-year-old, okay, the Goyin says he could. Goyin says he could. I don't think it's probably not the place to, if the 5-year-old really wants to wash your hands in the Leil Seder, l'chayra, it's the time to make like the Goyin and not scream at him. Even not, you shouldn't scream at him, but regardless, that's just a fascinating halacha. Now we mentioned the word nida, we all learned this. Obviously, it doesn't mean your own wife. When your own wife is in nida, of course she cannot pour water in your hands. It means, for example, let's say your sister who is in nida, she could pour the water on your hands if you want for some reason. Or let's say one woman pouring in another woman's hands doesn't mean husband to wife. But that is a quite fascinating halacha.
Would that mean a machine also cannot pour?
That would mean a machine also. That would mean a machine also. There's no kayach gavra. Now, I wonder aloud, what if we have one of these machines, which is, like the machine matzah. The machine matzah, you press the button, it's called lishma. Does that mean it's called kayach gavra? I don't know. He doesn't talk about it over here. I don't know.
Or as you put it, the hand in the sense.
Oh, very good. That's what he goes. So l'chayra, we said for a koyach gavra that wasn't the bigger issue, right? They were placing a makel that if you put your hand under the sensor or if you turn something, right? When you turn that faucet, how many things are happening until the water comes out? That we said is called koyach gavra because you, the gavra, are initiating it. So l'chayra, it's true. L'chayra, that would work. Okay.
Is it Goyin?
A guy is able to. That was before. Which is very, very, very negeya. Very negeya. Anyone who has an 8 and who has an aid, an older man, he has an aid, he needs to wash his hands. So the guy is allowed to wash your hands. Now, obviously, the chiddush here is al tumah v'tayra, etc. But the Mishmur does say lechatchila toiv lizar shlo yitei yadayim mehem. Mishmur is a shtickle machmer lechatchila. Chazon Ish is pretty upset at the Mishnah Berurah. Lo metzinu misha machmer b'zeh. No one's machmer. He says because if you're machmer af lanida, one nida shouldn't wash a friend's hands. We know that's not true. So l'maisa, any elderly person that needs to have a need to wash their hands, it's perfectly beseder. Okay, now we go into the water. Okay, we went into the water. Let's just dive right in. Just give you a little bit of background. Everyone should just look at the Mishnah in Yadaim. Why? So you could say that there's one Mishnah in Yadaim that you learned in your life. Obviously, there'll be many more. But page 18, Mishnah Yadayim. Ha'mayim shenifzlu mishtias behema. Water which an animal will not drink. Bekelim, psulim, ubekarkais, ksherim. Nafa letoichan diyoi, koimos, kanketoim, nishtanu mar'ehen. If their image, if the look, thank you, the appearance, thank you very much, changed, psulim. So number one is, we just learned credible halach. Okay, so you can say it's a Mishnah, it's brought down in the Shulchan Aruch, don't worry. That water that an animal will not drink is puzzle, is puzzle to wash your hands with, which is a pretty low level. I think animals will drink most of anything.
Soapy water.
Very good, we're going to get to soapy water in a moment, very good. But the next issue is with the soapy water. If the yoy, ink, or all these things go in and nishtanu mar'ehem, their mara changes, it's also possible.
Not meaning color? That's not pashtas?
What do you mean?
Pashtas mean the color should like change.
And not?
Not that there's bubbles in it.
You're saying bubbles isn't called a mara change. You're saying why? Because you're saying it's
Bubbles
water.
added bubbles to the water.
Okay, maybe we'll see like that 1 second. And then we see at the end is another psul. If the water was utilized in work, Oisha Shara ben Pita, you dipped your bread into the water, that's also psulim. So, this Mishnah teaches us a lot. Number one, it teaches us that if things fall into the water, that's a problem. Number two, it teaches us if an animal won't drink for it, it's a problem. Number three, it teaches us that if malacha is done with the water, and it sounds like pretty low level malacha. Sheshasu ben Pita, Shara ben Pita, even if your bread was dipped into it, then it is puzzle. So now, that's a Mishnah, which is brought down in Shulchan Aruch, which we'll read in a moment. But now, what's really going to be the difficulty is to quantify what is called work was done with the water. What does that mean? What does it mean, what all these different things? What if I touch the water? What's it like, Yain Nesach? If I touch the water, now maybe that's like Shara ben Pita. So, the Shulchan Aruch, by the way, if you look at the next Maramakum, which is a very nice Maramakum, quotes the Ra'ah, the reason is, Dumya the Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim. It's like the water in the Kiyar. Again, we keep on seeing, which again, hopefully gives a little bit of a chizik over here, where like Mamish are mimicking the Kehanim of the Yisa Mikdash. That the water has to be a similar type of water to the water in the Kiyar. So we have three basic issues. We have the color change, it's not fit for animals, or it is used water. Says the Shulchan Aruch Paskins, just like we just said, just in case anyone thought it's just a Mishnah Yadayim, says the Shulchan Aruch, Mayim Shenishanu Mar'ehan, Pein Machas Atza, Pein Machas Davar Shnav L'Techan, Pein Machas Mekoiman, are Pesulim. So l'chayra, we started off, we asked about what about cloudy white water. What would it seem the answer is?
Fine.
Why is it fine?
Oh, it's changed
Shana
color.
Marie. But now, our scientists amongst us, for all our scientists
That's
amongst
not
us.
That's not what it looks like.
What's the mar of water that we?
I
I'm
hope
saying
our
it's
water
clear,
is
but like,
clear.
there's also.
It's clear. It's clear. So let me read you Mishnah Berurah, 1 second. Says Mishnah Berurah, what happens if little bits of dirt fell into your water? Achein, ma shenishtana al yidei ofer v'tit, shenis'ari b'soichoi, lo yichashiv shini mara. One second. I want to hear you what to say. If a little bit of dirt fell in, that's not called shini mara. So again, if the yoy falls in, it is. If a little bit of dirt falls in, it's not. So why? Yeah, what do you want to say?
When you have these particles in the water, they're not actually in the water, they're just floating and they're going to settle.
Oh, so they're going to settle. Very good, very good, very good. So now, there's a machlokes achronim. What is the reason over here? The Geraz, Shulchan Aruch Harav learns, the reason why a little bit of dirt is okay is because it's natural. It's natural in the water. That's what he learns. The Pri Megadim learns, like you wanted to say, is that the water, the dirt is going to settle. Based upon this, comes along the Minchas Yitzchak, and he says, so if I have cloudy water, he says, what's the halacha? He says, you don't have the reason of the grass, because it's not normal to have cloudy water. So you only have the reason of the Pri Megadim that it's ultimately going to settle, it's going to eventually clear up. Says the Minchas Yitzchak, you should wait for the water to clear up. However, comes along the river of Ephraim, including Rav Yashiv, Rosh Hashanah Zalman Auerbach, Rav Nevinsol, for some of us, the Arlet Zion, the Yalkut Yosef, they all come along and they say that in this case, even the Shulchan Aruch Harav would agree. Why?
It's normal.
It's normal. Say a little better. Who knows? Why is the water cloudy?
When you take a cup filled from the ocean, that's what the water looks like. It doesn't look like crystal clear Poland Spring water.
Depends which ocean you're in. I don't know. Go to Eilat. The water is gorgeous. I've never been there, but that's what they say. In the pictures, it's blue. But no, what do you mean? Water is clear. No, but say better. Well, why is cloudy? Why is water cloudy? No, we have no scientists. Why is it sometimes cloudy? Minerals? No, it's not minerals. That might be true also. But that would be fine for sure, because minerals are for sure natural. So apparently the science is, and everyone could on their own do a science fair project, there are small bubbles, air bubbles, that get pressed into the water as it goes through the pipes. So it's the air that is making the water look cloudy, fascinating, and therefore it settles on its own. Say, how really I should do this one, this is like, the Chazon Ish doing heart surgery, I don't know. But Lamaisa, that's what they want to be makel on the cloudy water. That's Gishmak. But now, let's go to our soap. What's the story with the soap? No. If you go with the Siba, that has to be natural. It's not natural. If you go, it's going to settle. It's going to settle. Lamaisa comes on the Chazon Ish. You can look over here, note number 6. Says the Chazon Ish that he goes with the Pri Megadim, and he says you're allowed to use the water, and you do not have to wait until the soap settles. It's not called shinui mar. It's not called shinui mar. It's not called. What is it?
Dog's not going to eat that. No one wants to get a drink.
A little bit of soap. A little bit of soap in it. Why not? Our soap? You can even drink our soap. Our soap's 78. All of us have kids that drink the soap. I mean, I don't know if we'll admit it, but listen, that's it. No. Yeah. But Coca-Cola. No. Based on what we just said, can you wash with Coca-Cola?
Hope not.
No, Mara changed.
Mara changed. Coca-Cola is certainly not.
No,
looks like
Coca-Cola's
water.
so empty.
But what about wonderful seltzer bitam?
Should be the same thing as those bubbles in the water.
Yeah,
like you said.
It's perfectly fine. What about Sprite?
No.
So I don't know. He says, I don't know who he's quoting. He says Sprite is transparent. I don't know. Maybe like Israeli Sprite. I don't know. Sprite is colored. No?
No.
Crack open a Sprite. No, let's go. You don't have a Sprite?
Oh.
Sprite is clear?
It's clear.
I'm crazy.
You made me think of Fresco.
The green bottle.
Yeah, but
Maybe you're thinking of.
No, you're right. No, fuck it. I was thinking. No, you're right.
Are you thinking of
Now-
Fresco?
No. He's right. No. Now that they made the bottles clear, we all realize that we were tricked our whole lives. Yeah. It's been traumatic. It's been traumatic realizing that Sprite is not actually. But Chayr, you can wash Sprite. Chayr can wash Sprite. But again, what's the reason? The reason is that all these drinks are roiv water. So it's roiv water. So it's water. So what are the psulim now? Is an animal going to drink it, or is it going to be a shini mara? Chayr, it's not called shini mara, and therefore it's going to be fine.
Sprite's right water?
Yeah, all sodas are roiv water.
Yeah.
Even Coke, which we know melts through metal, but it's still roiv. It's still roiv water. It's still roiv water. Okay, so now where are we holding?
You
Okay,
have to
Baruch.
wait for it to fizzle out.
No. Maybe according to Sprite.
It's clear.
It's clear. No, let's get for the camera. Let's get for the
How
camera.
does it compare to water though?
What I drink, I don't know what this orange stuff is.
It has a yellowish into it.
No.
No, it's water.
I'm going Nachum David.
Looks like seltzer.
It is perfectly clear. Mice, you can't see
Can't even
through
see
it.
through it.
Can't see through it.
Can you see through any water?
What does that mean?
Can't see through it. It's a reflection.
Oh, you could see it. Ah, see? Okay. Signs your projects for later. It's for me. Thank you.
I wouldn't know. Nice.
No, it's good. It's good. Okay. Are we clear on the liquids? This is an important one. It's not water. Used water. What about used water?
If that's on drink cup.
Used water, says the Mishnah Yadaim. If malacha was performed by the water, like dipping your bread into it, you're not allowed to use it for Netilas Yadaim. Says the Shulchan Aruch, asa b'mayim melacha. Oishashar ben pito, you dipped your bread into it. Afilu niskave lishois b'kli zev and ovel l'sheni pesulim. V'mhidiach lem kalim. You use the water to wash kalim. Psulim. It is possible. V'im. It's gavaldi. V'im ha'yakelim meduchim. The dishes are clean. Or they're new, and yet you're washing them. This is like in the Mar Makam for every mother in the world. No, it's still a little dirty. It's clean. What are you doing? Get it out of the dishwasher. No, before you put it away, rinse it off. What are you doing? Pre-rinse, post-rinse. Says the Mechaber, ksher, then it's kosher. So we see something fascinating. Rinsing a clean dish is not called malacha. Rinsing a dirty dish is called malacha. Fascinating. So this is really, you didn't accomplish anything. So l'chayra, yeah, I like that. I like that word. Yeah.
It's like in Shabbos. You do the malacha was in Meru.
Very nice. It's positive. It's positive. That's what I wrote here. I think that's together. I gotta think it's together. No, because I'll just tell you the cases. I'll tell you the cases that the place discuss. And once you have the cases, you want to come up with together. So now, to wash dirty dishes is a problem. Clean dishes is okay. Next, what about to use it to cool off wine? You have wine and you want it to be cold, so you put it into a bucket of cold water, or the reverse, right? All the people that still warm up their baby bottles. So you take the baby bottle. What do? You put it in the Nagelwasser cup with warm water. Put the bottle in. The bottle warms up, and now what? Say the water stays in the cup. Can you wash with that water? That's a good case. That's a good case.
Nothing changed with the water.
Yes.
The water wasn't used.
Oh, good. So this we have to be clear. Good. We have to be clear what's called malacha. Says the Mishnah Berurah. You do with the water something that has a purpose. It's made like water that you're going to spill out. Upsulin linatila. So once the water is doing a positive purpose, so now l'chayra, heating something up is for sure a positive purpose. That's for sure. Now, cooling something off, he wants to make a chilik over here. I don't know who he makes this chilik from. Let me read you another Mishnah Berurah. No, it's lahadia. That's why this is difficult to understand. I agree with you, but it's explicit. Imtsina yayin b'mayim. You chill the wine with the water. Mechaber, psulim. If I have a warm bottle of wine for the sun, and I now want to cool off that warm bottle of wine, what do? I open the tap, the cold water goes in my wine. Givaldik. Now all that water that's wasted, I want to collect that water. Can I wash with it? No, it is possible. The water can be perfectly clean, perfectly clear. I don't care. It's called you did malacha with it.
Put a bottle of the wine in.
That's also true. It's the same thing. It's utilizing thing. By the way, we've all seen these halachas, probably. We've all seen in the world of it, just you don't realize that it's the same type of halachas. Tuma v'tayra, we've seen gemaras are using water to weigh something. Using water to weigh something, and it's called malacha. You can't use the mei para aduma for such a thing. What's the malacha you're doing? This is called positive malacha. Says Mishnah Berurah, why if you cool something off? The chashin malacha shayidei mayim via the water nitzdanenu. Via the water it cools off. However, says Mishnah Berurah, v'ma'aya hayayin soinin, if the wine was cool, v'nas l'teicha mayim, why? Rak shelo yischamimu meichayim hayayim. Then ksherin. Then it's kosher. That's where I came up with the gather that it has to be positive. If I have something which is cold and I put in the water to maintain its coldness, that's not called a positive benefit. That's not a problem. But if I take something cold and I make it warm, I take something warm and I make it cold, that's a positive benefit, and you can't use that water. So again, there's not that many cases in the game.
So
Yeah.
clean dishes.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, she wants to do it. She wants to, cause she's the crazy. She wants to do it. It's a positive purpose.
You know what this is a question for, right? The shver. I'm saying, I don't know, deal with the marriage issues that she has, which I want. No, he's a marriage
You're
counselor.
not doing it for nothing.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're not doing it for nothing.
Right.
If you're doing it for nothing, you would do it.
Just because
Again.
she's crazy.
Says the Mishnah Berurah. One second. I agree with what you're saying. But let's listen to what the Mishnah Berurah says. It's chadashim. Says Mishnah Berurah. V'ma'aya ben afruris. If there is dirt on it, imkin yesh sayrech, and then psula.
Who's doing what?
On the kli, even though, and it's new, meaning if you buy something and you're then washing it off because you feel like you're doing something, it is a problem. Saying why if not? I don't know. I'll tell you what comes to mind. I don't have a raya, and I don't see anyone that's talking about it. I'll tell you what comes to mind. Let me just see if there should maybe be sling. No. Comes to mind is in Hilchas Shabbos. Are you allowed to wash an apple on Shabbos? You're allowed to wash an apple on Shabbos. What would the problem be? The problem would be bayr. Problem B, if there's dirt on the outside of the apple, you're removing the dirt from the apple. Who said you're allowed to remove the dirt from the apple? It's bad from good. So the answer would be, just like you're allowed to peel the apple, you go out and take off the dirt. But then you'd only be allowed to do it for immediate usage. You wouldn't be allowed to do it for a long time usage. And everyone knows, of course, before you eat fruit, you wash it. But why do you really wash it? Says Rav Moshe Feinstein, there's nothing on your fruit. What are you washing it for? What is it? Minigi mice be a day. What do you want? I think you might even say it. What are you washing it for?
I thought pesticides, huh?
Yeah, we all thought pesticides. It's not true. We don't live in a world. Yeah, they give you a little poison in your fruit. Like, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, welcome to 2020. Yeah? Like that.
Yeah.
Say it, guys. Say it.
There's
Yeah. No, the mice, it's not actually.
Expecting that you're gonna wash it off. Expecting that you're gonna wash it off.
You have never eaten. Okay, so I don't know if I say this on camera, but I've eaten food without washing it. Which I do.
It does.
Me too. And I'm alive, Baruch Hashem. That's why. Weiter. Okay. It is all you got it. Says Rav Moshe.
Just don't ever wash your hands, like, because you can't.
Right, because Yannick guy didn't die because he doesn't wash his hands, so we do that shit.
It's getting emotional.
I mean, look at the Tazan.
Whoa. Okay. Should we take a poll how often you wash your hands? Like, what does that do with anything?
So why don't you drink plastic because Yodel didn't
This is
die?
like COVID that like we
Drink
have to
plastic.
count how many times you wash your hands. Wild. But Hadra Kushal Yaninu, now that everyone is enjoying halach l'maisa. The cases that are befurish, what should I tell you? If the water is used to get something.
What did Rav Moshe say?
Oh, I'm sorry. Rav Moshe says you're not really washing it off. It's liyisroin ba'alma. He says it's epis. You make it a little shiny. So that's why some people just take it and they just like rub it. Like I get the same shine.
So they're allowed to do it in Shabbos.
So therefore, Rav Moshe says it's mutter for everything in Shabbos, unless there is actually dirt in it. It's okay. Some fruit does have actual dirt in it and whatnot. But so what comes to mind is that there are certain times that you'll do something that it's doing something, but it's not really. So maybe that's what it means. I'll tell you. For example, I'll give you a story. It actually happened last night. It's funny that we're talking about this. My daughter had got a water bottle from school. Printed with the logo, whatever, kishmak. Okay, great. And she told me she has to go wash it off. Why do you have to wash it off? It came straight from the factory. That's what she tells me. This is the chachma of a 9-year-old. Why didn't I smack her? Because what are you doing? What are you doing? Crazy. Remember, Moshe already says, so she says, yes, well, it came from the factory. Now, I'll tell you the reason I did saying, where did she know it came straight from the factory? That's ridiculous. It sounded like the teacher, Yana Bubby. Sounds like the teacher told the girls, make sure to wash it off before you use it. And that's what it sounded like. My side, we didn't have time to deal with it. Maybe next time we have time, I'll ask her what really was going on. But, so that would mamish be a case. That it was a keli, I would use it. So she went to the other daughter, who's 6 or 7, I don't remember. And she said, did you wash yours off? She says, no, I used it. She said, oi! It came straight from the factory, you have to wash it off. This is Gavaldic.
You can say on the bottle, please wash it before use.
I don't know what you're buying, but...
Straight from the factory is a reason not to wash it, no?
Okay! I leave it for everyone. So halacha l'maisa. Okay. So now, all the chaver here that heat up their children's bottles, with water from the urn and Shabbos because that's what your mother told you to do for the first child. It's part of the Messiah. And let's say that washing cup is still sitting there. Can you wash with that washing cup? Halacha l'maisa, the answer is no. Again, I don't know if it's something that anyone would ever do. It definitely is a gishmak case. The cooling off thing, I don't think is so relevant in our world. L'maisa, you can't do it either way. I don't know if anyone does it. But this is a good one. A water cooler. 1 second. A water cooler. This is a very, very good one. We have to see if the Eilam agrees. You have a water cooler. So what do you fill up the cooler with? You have an ice chest in English. An ice chest. A cooler, whatever. And you put I think we're out of time. And you want to cool soda. So what do you put in the ice chest? Ice cubes. Or ice cubes and water. Good. And then you put the soda inside. When you finish, can you wash using that water? This is a geshmaka case I don't believe anyone would think of. This is mamish the case of the Mishnah Berurah that's being used to cool something off and you can't wash it. Now, I want to,
If the sodas were cold, and you put
if the sodas were cold,
then it's keeping it
then it
cold.
would good, then it'd be good. But yeah.
But that's a mixture of ice and water. Meaning the water, ice became water.
Everything was being used.
But that's new water.
But everything's being used. You can mix it. That's something we'll talk about next week. Can you mix things to kasher it? But now I just wanted to mention, let's say you would drink that water. Does that make an afkamina? Chayr or not? No, chayr. Vadinat. That's what I want to point out. Vadinat. And we'll leave with the case. Oh wait, what's with the vase? What's with the vase?
No.
Says the Ben Ish Chai. Im nosan b'mayim sheishanu b'yadas kadesh lo yichmosh. You put the flowers in the water so it doesn't shrivel. Harei zechoshiv asa behem melacha. Upsulin itizayim. But he says, let's say you put it in just so that it preserves its status, then he's willing to be meko. So when you go to wash with your vase water, just know what the matzo is. And water bottles, but it's fine. What's wrong with the water bottles?
Didn't you say something with the spout?
We said we were going to talk about it. Someone mentioned it. We'll get there. Just see.